Hello and welcome to Gone Home. Gone Home is the first game from what was then known as the Fulbright Company and is now known simply as Fulbright. It is the predecessor to the game Tacoma, which I played earlier. Predecessor in the sense that it was the game that they did before Tacoma. It's not, as far as I know, set in the same world or anything like that. Although, I mean, I suppose it's possible. Gone Home is set back in the 90s, whereas Tacoma is set in the future. So, perhaps they are part of the same world. Fulbright has only put out 2 games so far, Gone Home and Tacoma, although 3 of the members of Fulbright did work prior to the founding of the company on an expansion for BioShock 2 called Minerva's Den. Gone Home is part of the genre of games that has come to be known as a walking simulator. Although there are, I guess you would call it point-and-click adventure elements to it. The idea being is that you don't just walk anywhere you want. There are places you can't get to until you find certain things like keys and whatnot. So there is some light puzzling involved with the game. Before we get into it, there is one thing I want to say, if you want to skip ahead a little bit, it's not really a spoiler per se, but I just want to let people know that in this game nothing bad actually happens. So there's the game seems to be aiming towards an atmosphere sort of like a sinister atmosphere, or of tension or suspense, like you don't know what's going on and maybe there's something going on and it might be kind of scary. There's nothing actually scary in this game. Nothing bad actually happens. So if that's something that you're worried about, you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, also, as you may notice, this game is, I'm running it at an ultra-wide resolution. So since the last time I posted a Let's Play, I have obtained a new monitor, an ultra-wide monitor, and I will go ahead and record in that format. I'm using the low quality setting on nVidia Shadowplay, since at least for this game it still seems to be plenty good, and it significantly reduces the size of the recording so that they'll upload a lot faster, because although I have pretty good bandwidth downstream, my upstream bandwidth, well, good, is not nearly as fast as my downstream bandwidth. I don't have symmetrical internet. It's just basic home internet. So I'm going to try to keep the files small so I can upload them, because especially since I'm running a higher resolution monitor now, the files are bigger than they would have been with my old monitor. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. This is Gone Home.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so love you. See you soon. Bye.
June 7th, 1995, 1:15 a.m. We are on the front porch, the enclosed porch of this house, and it sounds like it's raining like mad outside. Caitlin Greenbrier, Portland, June 6, 1995. As this game is a game of exploration, you open everything, you look at everything. It's a duck, and it costs $5.99. Of course, not everything has a clue or anything like that. Yeah, let's get a little extra light in here. It's kind of dark out here. And there's a note on the door, and it says, "Katie, I'm sorry I can't be there to see you, but it is impossible. Please, please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. I don't want anyone." And she had originally written Mom and Dad, but crossed it out and wrote anyone. "I don't want anyone to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you. Sam." Oh, it's locked. That means I gotta find the key. Where's the key? Now, it's been a while since I first played this game, so I don't know where anything is. Ah, there's the key. Press 1 or I to check the contents of backpack. So I've got a passport in the name of Caitlin Greenbrier. I've got Thunder. This is my boarding pass back from my year in Europe. And a spare key that was hidden under Old Christmas Duck. Here's a map and journals, of which I have none. Oh, the light turned on. Sort of. This light's already on. There's a light over here. Let's turn it on. Open the drawer. Anything in here? Read note. Directions to work from new house. Travel time 1 hour 10 minutes. So somebody had the directions to work. Anything in here? Doesn't look like there's anything in there that I can pick up. There's some stuff over here though. A box and a folder. What's in there? Read invoice. Boxes, kitchen, boxes, master bed. So this is Wellspring Movers Inc. So somebody recently moved into the house. So it looks like the family.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm at a new school, and my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real, but I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal, just like I was talking to you.
So as we go through the game and as we find various things, that will happen. At the new house, added a backpack. So I can go back and reread or even listen to. Anything in here? Nope. Anything over here? Nope. What's this? Examine magazine. Author magazine. Stephen King. 50 contests. Critiques. Get published. The blank page. It looks like somebody in this house is interested in being an author. I can flush a toilet, but there's no point. Alright, so basically, just kind of follow around. I can open the door. Full string. Goodfellow High School. Janice Greenbrier, Senior Conservationist, Forestry Service. It looks like Mom is a forestry conservationist. Turn the light on. Okay, first of all, can I go through this door? It's locked. Uh-oh. Read letter. Dear Jan, it's so good to hear from you again. All this new house business sounds like quite the adventure. Remember the little dorm room we shared freshman year when we were miserable, fantasizing about our dream homes? I always said I wanted a mansion. You said you just wanted a house in the woods. Look who got both. Somebody up there likes you. I could use some of that magic. Send me some lotto numbers. I'll play them. Seriously. But I shouldn't be complaining about this good old split level we've had since Bob got transferred to Winnipeg. We just got new vinyl siding. Jealous yet? Let me know if you ever want to trade places. So how are the girls doing? Has Katie left on her big European adventure yet? Speaking of jealous, right back soon. I miss you, Rumi. Carol. That looks like a letter to Sam and Katie's mom. Nothing in there. Anything on down here? Boone County telephone directory. Doesn't look like there's anything I can interact with here. That was an interesting sound. I wonder what that was. Anything under here? No. How about over here? Doesn't look like there's anything in there. Don't see anything there. How about this? Oh, grab skull. Move the mouse to rotate. Hecho en Mexico. Made in Mexico. Pick up one of my trophies. Regional track and field finals. 1990 100-meter relay first place. Girls long jump event first place. So, Katie was an athlete, at least in school. So we got some over here. Anything in here? Ooh, read itinerary. Katie's departure. Okay, so this looks like the itinerary for Katie's trip to Europe. So I'm going to try to find everything that there is, but there's no guarantees that I'm going to find everything in the game that's worth looking at. Sam, Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come see the new house. Call him back. Mom, Daniel is a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place is he had a Nintendo when we were little. Okay.
Sam. Sam! Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
So the third message was from Katie, the player character. The first two messages were from somebody else. Sam, Katie, Mom, and Dad. Mom is Jan, Dad is Terry. Sort of a all-American 90s family. Is this door open? Yes, this door is open. Press 2 or M to check your location in the house. Turn the light on here. Read note. Welcome, new student. First day of high school. So basically a first day note, a list of things to bring to school.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House Girl. Great.
Psycho House Girl. Interesting. Pack of cards. Playing cards. Grab pencil. Don't really see anything there. Read obituary. Why would this obituary be in this drawer? Oscar Doc Mason. Oscar Mason, 60, of Boone County, died peacefully last month in his home. Mr. Mason was born on September 8, 1933 in the house that would be his home for the rest of his life. I hear something. I'll finish reading this. He attained his degree in pharmacy at a young age and returned to Boone County to practice. He quickly became a well-loved figure at the center of the community. In the decades preceding his passing, he was seldom seen outside his home. A service will be held this Sunday at the First Methodist Church at 1 p.m. All are welcome. His survivors include his nephew, Terrence Greenbrier. That's Katie's dad. As well as, in spirit, the people of Boone County to whom he provided wellness and comfort. Photo. It appears to be a young woman in a military uniform. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm guessing it's Army. There we go, the light's a little better. That looks Army, green. DeSoto. And she has pink hair. Okay. Well, I'm hearing something. Examine paper. Pioneer CLD D703 combination Laserdisc compact disc player. I'm not going to read everything here. They say that jack of all trades is a master of none. I have to disagree. Mystery is not a, quote, question of specialization, but sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. If you happen to be in the market for a combination LD-CD player, you'll be glad to know that Pioneer seems to share this particular... Okay. So it looks like somebody was in the process of writing perhaps a review for this particular model of Laserdisc compact disc player. I will say that I have had personal experience with Pioneer branded equipment, and it has all been a good experience. In fact, the amplifier that I have on my home theater system downstairs is actually a Pioneer. Anything in here? Nope, don't see nothing. Close the drawer. Open the drawer. Nothing in here. Nothing in here that I can pick up. I don't see anything in here. A book. Benjamin Allman, The Killing of JFK, A Theory. You've seen the movie, discover the truth. An important new look at the circumstances surrounding one of the greatest tragedies of our time. Okay. I'll put it back where I got it. Enter combination. Oh, I don't have a combination. I guess that's something that I will have to figure out at some point. Nothing in there. There sure are a lot of these sort of hutches around. Pacific Insurance Masters Electrical Inspection Form. Does the entire electrical system meet local codes? Yes. Are there any deficiencies that need correcting? Unclear. Wiring in house is technically up to safety and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring have been added into structure over the last 100 years. System is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no clear reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupts circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly destructive to the walls, floor, and fixtures of the structure. After discussion with Mr. Greenbrier, since there are no current safety concerns, issues will not be addressed. Okay, so that explains why, like, the lights might be flickering in this place. Anything down here? Nope. Okay, I'm in a library. Dad's second book. Oh. The Accidental Pariah, Terence L. Greenbrier. A message from our future saved the president's life once, but within the next 24 hours will be another attempt and the lines of communication are down. So Dad was an author. Actually, was this book by him? I didn't even notice. Oh, Benjamin Allman. Okay, so no, it wasn't by Katie's dad. But that said Dad's second book. So Dad was an author. Examine magazine. Fresh. I was a teenage drag queen. 90210. Does anybody still care? No. I hear the wind and the rain outside. Nothing here. I don't think there's anything I need to worry about picking up a pen. You know, it's a library, right? There might be books you can pick up, like that one. A Stranger Under My Roof. The #1 best-selling advice book for parents of teens. You can pause that and read that if you like. Open folder. Read letter. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they're becoming more trouble than they're worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit. It's your job to stay under it, not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non sequiturs from the usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of Home Theater Aficionado want to hear about the quality and value of the hardware, not ruminations on your childhood. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter. I'd just be cutting you loose. There's tons of guys half your age who would take half your rate to write stuff I could actually use. But David's known you for a long time, and he's the boss, so I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again. Then everybody will be happy. So it looks like Katie's dad, 0541. I wonder what that could be. 0541. That sounds like a 4-digit combination to me. Looks like Katie's dad wrote reviews of audio equipment, which of course makes sense given what we saw in that typewriter. But was also an author of fiction. 0541. 0451. Got to remember that. 0451, because I suspect that might be the combination to this. Oh, look, it worked. Read document. Dear Mr. Mason. Mr. Mason. Please find enclosed your original document and a typed copy for your records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important letter. Attorneys at law. I, Oscar Mason, possessing full competence of mind and memory, and after full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. I declare that I am a lifelong resident of Boone County, that I am unmarried and have no children. I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name, to any creditors living or dead. I do hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, the house we're in, as well as any and all personal property and moneyed accounts to my nephew, Terrence L. Greenbrier, Jr. of Ellis County. In the event that said Terrence L. Greenbrier, Jr. should predecease me, then and in such event, the bequest to him shall fall, and the same is bequeathed to his children, as ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. Will and testament. Okay, so this is the original. Okay, so Katie's father's uncle died and left him the house. And so they moved in here fairly recently. Anything over here? I don't see nothing. Okay. We're done with this room for now. Oh, turn on the fan. Wow, that is one noisy fan. I hear a test signal.
This is a severe weather warning.
Yeah.
The Weather Service reports high winds and torrential rain conditions affecting the following counties: Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
And Wistaria County.
There's severe weather going on.
To stay indoors and secure all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
I think this is just on repeat, so I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't, what's this? Somebody built a fort. Grab soda can. Dr. Jitters. Hauntings and poltergeists. Poltergeists and hauntings. Find out the truth behind stories that were familiar even to our pagan ancestors. Okay. There's a button. What does it say? Bratmobile. Actually, I'm going to leave that open so that I... Empty pizza box. There's a mug, another coaster. TV listing. The X-Files has been circled. Truth is out there. Oh, wait. Sleepaway Camp? On Showtime. Yes, a sort of horror film with one of the most infamous endings of such films. I will not spoil it for you. You can look it up. An empty matchbook. Some VHS tapes. Here's a cassette. Let's put the tape in here. See what it says. Play some music. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, having experience with tape players of this type, no tape player of this type sounded that good. It's that book Dad wrote. Terrence L. Greenbrier, The Accidental Savior, November 21, 1963. John Russell knows that the president's life hangs in the balance, but who would believe him? Terry, hey man, how have you been? I know you're a published author and everything now. Oh, it's dated February 3rd, 1978, so quite a while ago. 17 years in the past of this, when the game is set. But my editor at Hi-Fi Aficionado has too much review work to go around, and he's looking for another freelancer. Naturally, I thought of you. You were saying in your last letter how much of a pain has been trying to find a publisher for your latest work of literature, and writing stereo reviews is dead simple. Sit at home with a glass of scotch, listen to some records, and write up how it sounds, and then get paid. I've included some issues of the mag to use as examples. If you're interested, send some samples to my editor, and tell him your old college chum Mike sent you. Here's the address. And the address. So that's how he got into that job. Bunch of VHS tapes. A door. Pull the string. Read the story. The heaven at the edge of the world. Got an A+. Samantha Greenbrier. So Katie's younger sister. Story, The Turtle People, Part 1. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever, or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was the black pirate ship. Sneaky pirate ships, those black pirate ships. She yelled, I thought we lost them at Horse Island. The first mate said, looks like you thought too soon. The black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, "Y'are never gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise, and your father were a liar." Captain Allegra yelled back, "Then why do you keep following us, you imbecile?" The first mate yelled out, "We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world, and you'll see her father was no liar." The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. "Now west," she said, and the ship sailed toward the sunset. A vivid imagination young Samantha had. Examine book. Making friends. Sam thought this would help Dad. Even when you... It's a piece of cake to make friends. Even when you're shy. Is somebody shy?
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk. But sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
So, we saw a photograph of somebody with pink hair and an army uniform in the drawer out in the hall. I wonder if that's who Sam was talking about. Read letter. Hi Terry, please find a Pioneer CLD D703 unit with remote and cables. We need a half-page review for the October issue, so that gives you about 2 weeks to get us a copy for edit. Standard stuff like you gave us on the other one. It's a combi player, so check a CD playback with a few discs as well as laser disc, and they want us to definitely hit the signal-to-noise ratio and Toslink stuff for high-end buyers. Looking forward to your take on intro to the unit. Toslink. I can't remember what that stands for, but that is the optical digital interface that a lot of audio equipment had and still has. I mean, my Pioneer tuner downstairs, tuner amplifier downstairs has one. I've had computers with such things. I don't think my current computer has one. David Werning, notify sender of new address to Terrence Greenbrier. So he was on Dry Creek Road and now he's in One Arbor Hill. I'm going to guess that the piece of equipment was here. Okay, you see that there is an empty space here with what appears to be composite video with left and right stereo audio. So that's video. It's old analog video. And that I'm going to guess is the Toslink connector, an optical wire. So whatever it wasn't high definition, because if it were high definition, it would have component video, which is like the red, green, and white, red, green, blue wires or whatever, or possibly a digital connector like HDMI or something like that. Okay, we're going to continue down the hall. What over here? Let's see, eraser, bunch of coupons. Store coupons, okay. Examine pamphlet, United States Department of Agriculture, Forestry Manual. Okay, must be something Katie's mom was doing. Open the door. Oh, what's this, another room? Another kind of big room, like a sitting room. It's kind of dark. Let's turn the light on. Yay. Turn the lamp on. Open folder. Read assignment. Samantha Greenbrier, 9994, so about a year ago. Reproductive system worksheet. Below are 2 stories. The events are all out of order. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. So basically, this is sex education. The reproductive system worksheet number 6. The menstrual cycle, a novella. Okay, I will have to read this because I remember this was quite amusing. The early morning of September 1st, 1939, I think. Essa Glatz stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Wielen in Poland. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. As this train approaches its destination, her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. As Essa steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then there, her dear Boris. Still in his baker's smock, he must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of the steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Essa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs, reaches out toward her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes lock, and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost instantly. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Essa and, for a time, Borislav, huddle in a half-destroyed church. He is blind. His legs are missing, bandaged with torn breadsheets. Essa's egg will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Essa has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end, nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. And the teacher wrote, "See me." Okay, so the story itself wasn't amusing, but the existence of the story was amusing. Quite an imagination young Samantha had. Or has. I'm going to stop that because that's really loud. And when I was a child, we had a console unit similar to this. It actually had a television in the middle, and the record player was on one side under a opening lid, and on the other side under an opening lid was the tuner, where you could tune in a radio station and change the volume and stuff like that. And I don't recall it sounding that good. Open the door. Grab the bottle. Harahan, Irish whiskey. That sounds good. I could go for some Irish whiskey right about now. Open door. Read letter. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that unfortunately Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working as your publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavors. So it looks like Terry was attempting to craft a series, and, you know, like maybe his own version of Jack Ryan. Although Jack Ryan didn't exist in the 1970s. He didn't show up until the 80s. The Accidental Savior, more copies of that. Read letter. Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave my permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she is welcome back to our house for a visit anytime. Sincerely, Mary Schutz. So that's the Danny she was working with, talking about before.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend.
Yeah.
And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, like, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Anything in here? Nope. Okay, I think I have canvassed this room pretty well. This cord goes over underneath the carpet there. Let's see, I came from that direction, so I'm coming around over here. A bunch of coupons, open the drawer, anything in here, a couple of markers, grab highlighter. Nothing there. Read note. Hi, Lonnie. Who's Lonnie? So if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6. Samantha, yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. Then I'm going to kick your butt. Get ready. So, Lonnie is a friend.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
So Lonnie is presumably the young woman in the picture in the army uniform. Katie, please, whatever you found, don't tell Mom and Dad the attic. And it's been crossed out. So Katie, this is addressed to me, the player character. Please, whatever you found, don't tell Mom and Dad the attic. What about the attic? There's something about the attic, and it's locked. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this session. I will pick it up in the next one.